Moving ahead with the last panel discussion of the day, from silos to synergy, addressing cultural and change resistance in DevOps implementation. Please join me in welcoming our moderator, Mr. Manoj Gupta, Vice President Information Technology at Restaurant Brands Asia. Can we have a big round of applause for Mr. Manoj? Over 20 years of experience in IT application and infrastructure, leading teams to design and implement IT solutions across retail, manufacturing, and pharma. He is skilled in deploying various applications including SAP, mobile platforms, RPA, e-commerce, digital transformation, SaaS solutions, cloud architecture, and edge computing. With this, I would like to call upon our panelist, Mr. Chitranjan Kesari, CIO and Head IT at NR Agarwal Industries Limited, Mr. Yogesh Khairnar, Deputy General Manager IT at Maharashtra State Electricity Distribution Company Limited, Mr. Vajid Momin, Deputy Vice President of IT at HDFC Bank, Mr. Vikas Srivastava, Head of Enterprise Architecture, DevOps Evangelist, Mahindra and Mahindra Limited, Mr. Shivaprasad DU, Vice President Software Engineering at Vodafone Shared Service Private Limited. Can we have a big round of applause for the moderator and all our panelists? Mr. Srivastava will be joining in middle of the conversation as he is on the way. So till the time, I would request Mr. Manoj to please go ahead with the conversation. Thank you.
All right, fantastic. So I think we've discussed a lot of tools, DevOps, CI/CD, NudgeB, many others. I think more or less now you understand DevOps is not just a tool, it's more than that. So the topic that we're going to discuss today, it is from silos to synergy, addressing culture and change resistance in DevOps implementations. We have seen many times like successful DevOps implementation or transformation require more than just adopting a new tools. It involves a cultural shift. This topic addresses the challenges of overcoming resistance to change within organizations and fostering the culture of collaboration and shared ownership by breaking down silos between developments, operations, and other teams. Company can achieve true synergy and faster delivery cycles. So I think, sir, my questions here will keep it more conversational. So my first question to Mr. Shivaprasad.
Hi.
So what do you think, sir? What are the most common cultural barriers organizations face when transitioning to a DevOps models, and how an organization can mitigate those questions?
Hello. Yeah. Cultural challenges, I would say actually, need not to be from the DevOps prospect. Actually, when the cultural challenges comes into the picture in an organization, it's majorly into the resistance comes into the picture. So in an organization, if you are bringing any change, okay, it could be DevOps, it could be SAFe, it could be agile methodologies. If you are introducing anything for that matter, as a human tendency, there will be a resistance comes into the picture. I quickly so recall this one in an 96-97 phase when we were implementing software in one of their local bank. The moment actually we get into those things, it was a very pride moment for all of us because we are implementing a software for a betterment purpose. But the huge resistance comes from an employees because their impressions or the assumptions was totally different. The same thing, even till today, after 25, 30 years as well, it is not changed. In any organization, the moment actually you talk about the DevOps implementation, where you say that development and operations teams need to be a work together, the things comes actually, the first thing they will see that we are stealing their privacies.
Absolutely.
We are stealing their privacies. And another thing comes as the security things comes into the picture. They feel that because everyone has been created their own dens and they are already, shown their expertise over there. they feel that somewhere actually it is hitting on that one. So this is the major thing comes into the picture. The another challenge is the moment actually we start implementing these kind of a changes, the leadership, how confident the leadership in order to bring this to the downlines. Are they carry forwarding from the top to bottom, or are they owning this change, stating that actually, hey guys, I know this is what the fruitfulness actually you are going to get it. Okay, this is the major hurdles actually, so are the challenges I would see when we are implementing.
Very well articulated. So I think I'll ask the same question to Mr. Yogesh. What is your opinion?
In my opinion, this barrier is going to be there. IT operations teams, IT and this operational technology team. This barrier is going to be there, but when pressure comes from the top management, not only from the top management, from the central government, state government and everything, then the things are changing like anything. I'll give you our recent example. Earlier we were having this 3-4 independent system, that is a network data management system, then meter data acquisition system, and then ERP system. A single meter has to be available everywhere. And when a meter is replaced, then there were all these manual process, and everybody was pushing the problem to someone else. This is not my issue. This is ERP problem.
Absolutely, yes.
But now, when we started with smart meter, the same issue was there, but the pressure when started building up, the agencies that we called them as AMISP, Advanced Metering Infrastructure Smart Meter Project Agencies. They are a very good market player with us, like Adani Electricity. So they have set up their own NOMC, Network Operation Control Room. So in that, everything is through DevOps only. So all the people, they are sitting together. Whenever meter is replaced, the issue is with the old meter, not new meter. Because the old meter, I stay in Kalyan, my office is in Kalyan, the meter shows somewhere else in, say, Solapur or elsewhere. In ERP stock, I had to change the meter location for old meter is very difficult. But when this issues arises, we started a CI/CD pipeline. So the things are been very smooth. As of now, we are able to replace 99% meters are being replaced in 2 to 3 days because of implementing this DevOps technologies by the smart meter player like Adani. Other players are there, but they are still using this old system. So they are having some problems.
I'll stay a little longer with you, Mr. Shivaprasad. Since you mentioned you also talk about, this is actually basically coming from the leadership. My next question is like, we have also seen there is always resistance to change in the teams that deeply rooted in silos ways of working. How organizing effectively can change this?
Well, this is one of the most important aspect, I would say, actually, when we are implementing anything, you can call it as, I would call it as moving into a digital transformations in an organizations. Okay. What is important is when the multiple stakeholders actually which are involved here, the multiple teams are involved here. One thing which is clearly missing over there is what will be their shared objectives. Because each team will be working from their own objectives. Development is, their objective is to deliver the codes at the earliest. When we are looking into that infra or the operations team, actually, their objective is to ensure that stability in the environment, actually, so which they are working on it. But if they are working in a different model and the development is working in a different model, so we cannot able to bring in a synergy over there. So what is the common objective, shared objective for them? Ultimately, so we have to bring in at the earliest. We need to minimize the time frame as well here. So this is what actually we need to set up over there from the leadership, actually. So buy-in has to come. The common goal, the shared objective has to be clearly explained to the teams which has been involved. This is a very, very, very important aspect.
Absolutely right, sir. Yogesh, you mentioned about smart meter.
Right.
Yeah. I would like to know more on this one. Like, what are the practical problems and barriers in the smart meter replacement, and when actually it's get broken or something like that? So how do you actually mitigate those challenges?
Actually, the first problem is resistance by the consumers itself. They are having some mindset that the smart meters are fast and like this. So we have to change the mindset of our customers as well. And when it comes to our employees, our outsourced people, there is a large pool of outsourced people who are taking manually photometer reading and pushing the data through mobile app. All these have become legacy system. Yeah,
Yes.
that is a manual process.
A rudimentary way of doing it because it's going to be very difficult for everyone to
Yeah.
go individually and do that, reading.
But why smart meter people don't know? Because the smart meter, it controls your load basically. The grids and the power failure is often there. But who is the main cause for the power failure is the customer. If I am having the load sanctioned for 3 kilowatt or 5 kilowatt, if I am using more power than that, my supply should be automatically disconnected. So this should be an automated process, not manual process. So legacy system cannot do it. So we have implemented internally DevOps applications we have developed internally. So our IT teams and OT teams, they are working togetherly and this process is ongoing, smart meter replacement.
Yeah, we need, now summer is coming, I think we need to have more detail on the smart meter because the cost is going to be increased in our household costs, especially the EC is going to be run 24/7. So I think, Mr. Vajid, I think I would like to ask the cultural shift, which is a major challenge. We spoke about creating a synergy in cultural shape. What do you think? What strategy can be used to foster the culture of continuous learning and research, which is essentially for successful DevOps transformation?
Yes, absolutely. See, basically, as a big and India's largest bank, the HDFC bank, which I'm working for right now. So majorly, whenever you do any of the implementation like DevOps or any cloud, you adopt such things. So you have to focus on various aspects. Primary, consider like your leadership. So what is the vision of your leadership? How your leadership think about how we can implement your DevOps into your organization. That is one of the most important aspects. Apart from that, like how you treat the failure of your deployment, right? If you treat your failure of your code or anything happens in your organization, so how you manage it. You have to take it as a positively as a learning. So this is the one of the key feature which leadership has to do. And this is the down the line, it will come to the entire development team because DevOps is not only a tool or anything, right? It's a journey between operation and development team. So this is the major way we can finalize how we can run it. Apart from that, the continuous learning, right? So continuous learning in terms of how we can engage the team within the teams, right? We can share the knowledge within the teams. We always, as a bank, we create events like hackathon, gameathon, such events we do. So such events will create more learnings within the team. So this is the main feature we do. And ultimately, like DevOps is not only automation and spend, right? It's the learning each and every day. So that's why I always say it's not only about continuous integration and continuous deployment, it's continuous learning as well. So this is what we do.
As you rightly mentioned, like collaboration within the team, I think, that is where bring me to the another questions to you again, Mr. Shivaprasad. We talk about synergy or collaboration between the team, be it development, operations, or any other departments. How do we ensure to build that alignment within the team when shifting from silos to more integrated DevOps approach?
Well, it's a very good question, and Mr. Vajid has been already addressed as well. See, when we are bringing in synergy between the team, one thing actually, so what we have to do is bring them very near to them. Okay, so if they are sitting silos, not physically I'm talking about it, actually, either virtually or the physically, wherever it is possible, the moment actually you are bringing together them, so the more connect will happen. Just for example, a couple of days back only, so I was facing a lot of challenge in my organization, actually, the way I'm handling it. In a larger forum, the people started raising their hands, stating that actually popping it up, their problems actually which they are facing it. But it never happened among themselves, actually, sitting together, actually, exchange that information where the solution would have been come within the no movement, actually.
True.
Okay.
Yes.
So what is happening here is everyone wants to gain their value in front of others or in front of the organization. Because of that, actually, the people will get into the silos. The moment actually you are bringing them on the one platform and making them to know each other, so automatically they start opening it up. This is the one thing. Another one is always actually they look at from the leaders first. Okay, immediate leader, they don't look at actually the CTOs, they don't look at actually the head of the organization, they look at actually the immediate boss, whomever is there, line manager. What is his behavior represents? Whatever actually we wanted to implement it, does this reflect in that manager's behavior? If not, they don't follow it. So these are the two aspects actually we need to cultivate it within the team so that we can able to achieve.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is all more towards the mindset that is coming, because it has to change the mindset, because we have always have a fear whether should we ask this question to our peers, or do I have like that kind of a freedom to ask this question to my CTO? You rightly mentioned those points. So my question to Dr. Chitranjan, sorry.
Manoj, actually, you rightly
Yeah.
said actually the mindset. Okay, when we look at into the DevOps is what? It's not a product. Okay,
It's
it
not
is
a
not
tool.
a
Yeah,
org
absolutely.
structure. It is a no mindset game altogether actually. Okay, so that is what we need to ensure.
Absolutely. So, Dr. Chitranjan, actually that brings me to the question to you. We have seen many organizations faces this challenge of legacy mindset. When we move towards a more collaborative and agile DevOps culture, how do we handle these challenges? Because what Vajid mentioned, like, we have to create a like gameathon or a lot of, to bring some kind of a game or gaming things so that we can bring to the multiple people, multiple departments, and we can play around, and it's going to be more collaboration. But again, we have a still legacy mindset.
Yeah, basically, my current job is in the manufacturing company, and every owners of these companies are they are thinking on the legacy side only. My technology is working, my X plant or Y plant, this is working fine. Why we are facing so many problems? In a recent example, I am working with couple of projects for automation for our company, and when I joined, and a couple of developers and the programmers, they are sitting there in Bangalore or Pune. Everybody is talking on the technology, writing code, doing delivery to our company. But each and every time, whenever the IoT devices are going to connect with these devices, these codes, the system is going to be down or something is going to be very, very slow. Then I have started going deep dive in this. And again, the mindset that I'm not talking about the tools and technology, whatever the DevOps we have implemented and we have sorted out. But whatever the collaboration we have called each and everybody, you can come here, sit there, you can face the problem each and every time, whatever the users are facing. In a couple of days or couple of months, we have resolved whatever the problems are. But still the management itself thinking in a legacy way, but being a technocrats, we have to tell what is the benefit behind this, why everybody is calling here in a single platform, and you can perform whatever the users are facing problems, and these are the things, and this is going to be come out here in this culture in India also. But in my company, we are happy that we have implemented, and this is successfully running complete automation for one of the plant in Vapi, and we have a warehouse management with a couple of IoT devices, and OT is also involved. And these are the things that we have come out and successfully implemented in our company. Yeah.
No, that's great. I think that is where I think when people wants to know from you, I will take again one more question to you, Dr. Chitranjan. We spoke about breaking down silos in teams, okay, and we spoke about how do we build the collaborations. But we wanted to know what are some practical steps organization can take in order to encourage cross-functional collaboration in DevOps without causing any frictions.
Yeah, basically what we have done, we have called each and every, I can say in a simple way, core team member, and whatever the active participant who is working 24/7 for our automation project, and whatever the bins we are facing the problems, where is the devices, where is the code is going to come, who is the core responsible person, is this the problem is going to come in the midnight or in the morning, and what is the time behind this, or on the basis of that we have to come out. Means if suppose 5 companies, 5 teams or 5 vendors are working, each and every one is going to be working as a team under the control of whatever the senior technocrats in our company, and we have to resolve it. In this completely, whatever the source code side or whatever the operational side, whatever the problems are there, the complete teamwork is going to be happen, or on the basis of that we have to resolve it. And artifactory is also going to play a very big role. If suppose you have IoT devices and whatever the course is going to come, you are going to scan it, and this is going to be happen completely remotely. Whatever the OT you have implemented is very strong. That's why whatever the Honeywell world of the team or whatever the other OTs companies are going to be play a very big role with the core ERP team and warehouse management team to resolve whatever the issues are. Yeah.
Yeah, because I do remember like when we have to deploy the codes back in there, we have to plan the weekend, we have to plan the proper, okay, now there is a downtime strategy, we have to discuss, we have to send this lot of communication to the leadership team and all. Now today with the help of DevOps, of course that's now today even small team of developers can do anything in like during the day, during the business hours, not even like anybody will even realize it, okay, what is happening. Although they will have just kind of a message saying that, okay, new features has been added to your app, but otherwise it's going to be very simple and easy with the help of DevOps. But like, it's always a challenge of measuring this effectiveness and cultural transformation during DevOps implementation. Is crucial to even ensuring long-term success. So, Vajid, I would like to ask this question to you. How can organization measure this effectiveness of cultural transformation during DevOps implementation, and what metrics are most impactful?
Absolutely. See, basically, whenever you adopt any kind of tool or any kind of culture, right, a DevOps culture or cloud culture, so you have to ensure that the investment which you have done, so you get an exact output or results desired for. So we have like various metrics through that we can do that. Like primarily, just like to add, we are doing through operational metrics. Initially, like what is the deployment frequency of your tools? I mean, your deployments. What are the frequency? How many deployments we do every day or weekends, weekly or monthly basis. So this is one of the way we can do that. Apart from that, like secondary, we identify what is the failure rate, change failure rate. So this is also one of the most critical way to identify how many changes are getting implemented and how many changes are getting failed. So from that, we can identify the learnings from there. So third, what I would like to say, we can do the MTTR, like whenever there is an recovery has to be there. So how much time it will take? It has to be a very low in that case. Then we have to ensure the quality metrics, right? This is one of the most important. Whenever you do the implementation or DevOps pipeline you created and you deploy the code, so what is the quality of that? So we have to identify using various analysis on that. The third, I would like to say the business metrics, which is most important, which we assume, because whenever we do an investment, that is basically for any of the business. For example, if I'm using one of the app, okay, for that, if I'm doing a deployment, so what are the business benefit I'm getting in terms of whether it's getting a faster deployment for that particular app or anything, because we are using for very critical applications in our bank. So we always identify whether using this tool, either Jenkins or any of the DevOps tool, whether that is helpful or not. We identify the revenue growth post using this tool, how it is getting beneficial to us. So according to that, we calculate this matrix, and this is very much important whenever you are working for any of the enterprise organization. Manoj.
That's absolutely right.
Can I add something to this?
Yeah, please go ahead. I'm actually going to ask the same question to you.
Okay, thanks. So in our example, MSCDCL, like power distribution companies, we are being governed by a regulatory commission. So they are constrained by the commission itself. So what he said, like MTTD, mean time to detect and mean time to response. Suppose power failure is there. So because of automation, what we have achieved, we immediately send message to a customer as well that due to this reason, so your supply is failed and it will be restored in so and so time. The same message is being passed to our line staff and the concerned engineers, and if any contractor engaged is there, any agency is there, so they are being given the message. So because of this matrix, what is our goal? Our goal is to increase the Saidi, Saifi and Kaidi, that is system average interruption, duration, index and frequency. So we wanted to minimize the interruption. So who is controlling us? The regulatory body, that is the commission is controlling us. So everybody, information technology and operational technology, the people sit together and we see that people are being informed. Whenever grid failure is there, all the stakeholders are being immediately informed because of this culture of DevOps in our organization.
Wow, fantastic. Yeah, please go ahead, sir, if you have anything. Oh, okay, great. I think very well said, sir. I think this is very important because we need to have certain metrics to even evaluate, because we don't know whether this is going to helpful, not helpful. So that thing, some metrics has to be there. Dr. Chitranjan ji, because we always have a fear of failures, you know, and because I have absolutely seen whenever we do any kind of DevOps, anything or cultural or anything that we talk about it, we always have a fear of failure. Is vital for fostering a DevOps cultural and embraces experimentation and rapid iteration. So my question to you, sir, what are the most effective ways to address fear of failures and mistakes? This is holding teams back from adopting to a DevOps culture and experimentation rapid iteration.
Yeah. Basically, whenever I'm talking for the fear of failure, this is the word itself is a very big, okay? And being a CIO and IT head of the company, if suppose you are going to be failed anyway, that company is going to be fired. But this is going to be happen if suppose you are not going to implement a universal best practices for your company. DevOps is one of the things that the lot of tools and technology is going to come, but whatever the best practices you are going to come, whatever the automation product we have done, the project is first stage, the project is failed. After that, we have adopted the DevOps best practices and a couple of tools. So on the basis of that, this is going to be happen. But this is a part and parcel of the life. And when we plan properly, when we go for a best practices, whatever the DevOps is going to say, you are going to be successful. But if suppose you have not planned it, if suppose your developers are working in a silos, your operation team is working in a silos, your security team is working in a silos, then definitely your project is going to be in a jeopardy only. Okay, so this is the core teamwork that if suppose the best practices of DevOps is going to implement, you are going to be a 200% successful in your project. So this is the way I am talking for. This is the way I am telling for the
fantastic,
failures.
fantastic.
Yeah.
This is out of the syllabus questions, sir. I would like to ask you because this is my questions. Because DevOps isn't about the tools, you know. We spoke about it. It's people, process, and shared responsibilities. But as an organizations, how can we ensure that DevOps goes beyond just tools and process to become a genuine cultural shift that foster communications, trust, and accountability across the team?
Very, very, very important question this is, because actually, so whatever we do it, the trust factor comes into the picture. That is beyond everything. How much transparency we could able to give it to that people for the teams, downlines, in terms of why and how we are going to do that one. Why we want to implement the DevOps. This is the first thing. And how we are going to do this one, because we cannot able to do it over the night. Absolutely. It is no way possible. Okay, but what kind of a small steps, baby steps actually we are going to do this one in this case. Okay. So that clarity, the moment actually we are going to give it to the teams, that much of the winning elements will come towards us itself. That's what I could able to see. Because most of the times, as Chitranjan sir stated, fear of failure is one of their major element which will pull back everyone's proceeding further. Okay. The moment we give the baby steps and moment actually we start celebrating that small wins, that gives a lot of confidence in the people in order to come forward and pick up these things.
Perfect, perfect. Absolutely, sir. I think that's very important. Mr. Yogesh ji, I think you spoke about your experience in the real-time world. I have a slightly different question for you. We've been talking about development teams, development department people. What do you think as an HR and people? Like you have a different department as a company, you have HR and people department. How can this people or team can address this cultural shift to DevOps by developing training programs or incentive, what just Vajid also mentioned, like how do we create a kind of a synergy within that company so that HR can also take an initiative to create or remove these barriers?
Actually, in our organization, HR role is not that much important. They are not looking into this. Only IT people, they are sitting together.
That's the problem. That's the problem, because this is we always talk about this is IT problem. So because I think this is the company things that we think about. You should think.
So the trainings are also isolated as of now. So I can't speak on to that as of now. But I can tell you one thing that this information technology and operational technology, they have to work together. if this is the scenario of power sector, because earlier we were talking about this demand side management or distribution management system, but now we are moving to DR. DR is a demand response system, which will be a real time like a stock market. So I am a consumer and I will be having this time slot available. That's Reliance Energy, this is the rate, Tata Power, Adani Power rate, and this Maharashtra generating company so and so rate. So consumer will be having choice to select his power generator, because there are so many these microgrids and other players are coming in the market. Everyone is having rooftop solar, so that generation is not constant and steady. All of a sudden it increases, all of a sudden it decreases. So everything should be seamless and automated. This is just a concept, because in future this technology is going to come and everybody has to think of it, and that should be the organization goal. Like.
Correct, correct. Absolutely, because see, I've seen like when you are into IT company or IT organization, so it works like the entire company goal is the same, and then we are focusing and we ensure like whatever we do, we revolve within that IT sector. But when we talk about non-IT companies, like I am working for Restaurant Bar Asia Limited, primarily known as a Burger King. When we talk about anything that we want to implement in the IT department, so we only think about, okay, this is IT problems. We don't think about, okay, now how do we ensure like other department can also collaborate and possibly help. Maybe, so although we do a lot of changes in the department saying that, okay, now we will use like other department for a UAT. We will not use our own team to do the UAT. At least in this case, they can be a part of this, whatever we'll do it. So that's one thing that we are doing it. I think that's what you rightly mentioned, like, we have to focus not only like within one department, we have to think about from holistic approach, we have to think about from the leadership approach. So my last question to Vajid, looking ahead, what are the essential elements of successful long-term DevOps culture? And how do we maintain momentum after the initial implementation phase?
Yeah, it was a very good question, Manoj. Just like to add into, recently we have adopted DevOps into our bank almost 3 to 4 years back. Okay, so it's not a one-time journey. It's just a long goal. It's not only about once you implement, you purchase the tool and you just do it. I mean, your DevOps has got started. It's not like that. As I said earlier, we require a strong leadership. Okay, so whenever we have strong leadership and their strong vision to work, that DevOps culture should work for their organization, then it will be very much successful enough. Okay, so in that, like, you ensure your employees should feel safe to encourage the idea of what they feel, how the modification we can do in our organization. That is one of the best way. If the employees is not feeling safety to give their ideas or opinions, so that will be somewhere lacking in that case. Secondly, I would like to say, whenever we work for any niche technology like DevOps, right? It's every day there is a change, every day. So continuously you have to learn the things. So you have to create your,
correct, absolutely.
So in that case, you have to create an environment within your team that you should give a target. Like, this is how we do. Just like to share our example. In that case, we always have a KRS to learn the people to complete the course, their certifications into leading technologies, Gen AI, DevOps, all the leading tools, certification, Terraforms, we do. We always engage multiple corporate partners who arrange a training for us in our bank. Okay, so we able to accomplish all the knowledge which is there in industry. Apart from that, we always celebrate the success of any of the deployment or successful of any of the project has gone live. So that really kept a motivation to our team. Definitely that is most important, right? So whenever you cheer the team, the more enthusiasm it will come to your production and your business. So that's the more fruitfulness. And lastly, we always focus to automate everything. Whenever there is any scope, we can identify, yeah, this is a way where we can do that, right? So we always target that area and we always focus to cloud and get it automated everywhere. So this is what, as an HDFC Bank and the HDFC Bank leadership thinks about. Yeah, Manoj.
Fantastic. Yogesh, if you want to.
Yeah, KRA, what he said, so KRA is nothing but consumer satisfaction. Our goal is to satisfy the consumer. What he wants, reliable power supply, accurate billing, and quality of supply, power supply. So this organization goal should be this organization goal, every employee in the organization should have this goal. Accordingly, they should work. And whatever information or whatever the triggers they wanted to know, that this DevOps team, that is IT and operational technology team, they should sit together, and whatever issues comes, they should inform the concerned person at the time when it is required. So accordingly, the KRA and KPIs are set in our organization.
I think, yeah, as you rightly mentioned, because see, what I also believe, like, when the newcomers join, we should create a, for them as a goal, like, whatever you're doing it, like, there has to be some progression for him, and somebody has to also, somebody has to monitor it, somebody has to mentor it, because most of the time what happened, like, a lot of, ideas which is coming from this, all people, it is unheard. And we don't really, take a seriousness about those, because something, you don't know what can click and what can actually help to the organizations. So I think, yeah, that's it from me. Thank you so much, guys, for valuable insight and thoughts about DevOps, and especially how we can create and make a synergy within the department. I would like to open for our audience, like if anybody wants to ask any question to my panelists here. No, I think all set, all people are enjoying it. So good, thank you so much. Can I have a big round of applause for everyone here?
Thank you.
Yeah, now they are awake. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much.
Considering it's an end of the day session.
Yeah. Good.
Do we have any questions?
Thank you.
Okay, no worries. Thank you so much, Manoj sir, for moderating the session so well, and thank you to all our panelists for your insights. Next, I would like to call upon stage Mr. Avinash Kumar, VP and AI Champion at MSCI, to do the honors. I would request the speaker to please be on the stage for the felicitation.